Hello friends and welcome to another episode of This Week in Keyboards. We're going to do a quick review of what's been happening in the mechanical keyboard community this last week. Now let's get started. This week was a great week in the community for interaction and growth. Let's start with our subreddit, which has just passed over 150,000 subscribers. We're an ever-growing community with more and more individuals every day learning about mechanical keyboards, with more people being interested. Our active community grows by the day, and we've grown over 50,000 subscribers in the last year alone. And I hope this community can continue to grow and can continue to be awesome. Speaking of the community being awesome, we've had two meetups this last week, a meetup in Tokyo as well as a meetup in Phoenix. As a meetup host, it's always awesome to see other members of the community meeting up and hanging out. I hope everyone that's attended those meetups got to see some cool keyboards and meet some cool people. And there are even more meetups coming around the world this year, so keep your eyes peeled for one in your area, or consider hosting one yourself. Over at Massdrop, they have unfortunately announced that Xmit Hall effect keyboard will be delayed due to issues that were caught by the QA team at the factory. Apparently, a lot of the sliders have issues where the tolerances were off, so keycaps would either fly right off the stems or they'd be on way too tight. The drop is delayed until the issue is resolved. This is something I mentioned in my review of the pre-production board I had by the same OEM. Xmit was certain when he addressed my review that these issues would be addressed, but it looks like unfortunately they weren't addressed in the design stage, and now they need to be rectified after production. At least this issue is being rectified now, so all the buyers of the drop will hopefully get a decent keyboard once it resumes, and once these keyboards ship out. There's some pretty cool group buy news this week. Starting off strong is a group buy for the Mira TKL, and man, this keyboard is beautiful. Aluminum case, stainless steel or aluminum plate, stainless steel or brass weight insert, and a nice beautiful windkeyless bottom row for a beautiful aesthetic. Yeah, it's got quite the price tag, but oh boy, she's quite the looker. I just love how the brass weight looks on the back of the keyboard. And if you're looking for a premium TKL like I've been, because I've been itching for one for a long time, this might be the one for you. Judging by how long the interest check took though, I hope the group buy is significantly faster. Over on Zeal PC, Zeal is running round 5 group buy for Zealios. Instead of the normal retail price of $1 a switch, the group buy will be 75 cents per switch. On this buy, you can also get some Zealencios, Zeal 60 PCB, and Zeal stabilizers. While many Zeal products have a very, very premium feel, they are definitely accompanied by a premium price. Now let's move on to key sets. GMK Coniferous started this week, which is a green colored sets. It's basically a green version of Carbon, and if you're waiting for a green set to come around for GMK and you didn't like the previous offerings, which was the TA typewriter, then this might be the best set for you. It's priced decently, which is $150 before shipping, and it's being run by Donut Cat, who runs Donut Cables, which is a pretty cool place to get some cables. In more GMK news, GMK Terminal will be ending soon. It will be ending on the 7th. So if you're still on the fence like me, we only have a few days left to put our orders in. You should check it out if you want a set that reminds you of the good old days of DOS. Jessica, aka Sweet Dreams of You, aka Brazzers, has announced GMK Plum will be running on Massdrop on February 14th. I've talked about Plum on the show as well as on Top Clack. A lot of people have gauged their interest for this set, and I've been waiting for quite a while. And now it seems like it's going to be the perfect Valentine's Day's gift. Thanks, Jessica. To wrap up this week's show, I saw 2 interest checks that caught my eye. The first one was the 36 plus 12 by Dotdash 32. He was actually on Top Clack 3 weeks back for the handwire race, which you should all check out if you're into handwiring a keyboard. It's a split ergonomic keyboard that has quite the interesting layout. At the NorCal meetup, I actually tried a smaller version of this keyboard, but I didn't like the lack of the keys in the home row. This version definitely addressed the qualms I had. Those thumb buttons do look a bit more comfortable to use than some of the other ergonomic alternatives like the ErgoDox or the Kinesis. I can't wait to see where this project goes. Last but not least was an interest check for 2 things at once by Jan Glad. A little sneak peek, if you will, for DSA Night Sky, as well as a 60% keyboard, the JG60. The Night Sky set kind of reminds me a bit of Hacked by Geeks meets Penumbra and or Pulse in DSA form. The JG60 is a pretty cool looking case, and I like the edges he uses. A big attraction for a lot of people will be the angled side acrylic pieces, which will nicely diffuse RGB LEDs underneath the PCB. While I'm not too interested in the key set, the case looks pretty cool, and I wonder how much it'll be when it becomes a group buy. That's it for This Week in Keyboards. Tune in next week for another weekly review. Thank you for watching.